In less than 100 days, the Democratic National Convention will be in Chicago. And as I said before, I hear more planning and preparations to make this, like, you know, happen without a hitch. And yeah, I kind of don't really appreciate the the coverage of it, because as I said, it's still stuff going on here. It's like, oh yeah, the DNC will be here in like 3 months, but like the summer is about to start, and like what is really being done to kind of address some of these issues. Like I really feel like most communities of color get the short end of the stick, when it kind of comes to a lot of this, because for one, not to say that it's not investment in these communities, but most of the time, the people who most need these services as well as need access to the resources that are available, they don't know about them. And the reality is, like, most of these agencies, they need to do their research and basically focus more on their outreach strategy, because as I said, it's a lot of money in a lot of this work, but it's not necessarily trickling down to the people who really need it, as well as the people who are really trying to address these issues head on. Being a person who has, like, been critical and talking about these issues and following up with what's going on, I just kind of feel when they talk about the DNC and, oh, we got the Secret Service, the FBI, and, all these different various state and governmental agencies who are putting plans in place to, make this thing happen, without a repeat of, like, the 68 DNC. I mean, yeah, like, but meanwhile, you know, like, dudes are getting robbed and shot at gas stations. We have, like, hate crimes going on, like people, like shooting their neighbors, like I won't even just get into, like, just all the just drama that takes place on, like, a daily basis. But it's like, what is being done to, like, prevent some of this stuff, you know? Like, I just really feel it's a historic disinvestment, especially in the proportions when you kind of look at, like, oh, they invested, let's say hypothetically, 10 million in this shot spotter technology, but, they only gave, like, 4 organizations, like $500,000 to, actually try to combat the same thing. And it's like they're more hands-on, and it's like, instead of relying on a tool that is, to me, it seems more like a crutch, I believe you all need to, like, get more on your jobs and, like, actually do the work and, like, be hands-on with the people. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's really where you'll see the most impact, like, working with the people who you are protecting and serving. I feel that's I feel that's more beneficial to the community, as well as better return on investment for the taxpayers of this great city of Chicago. So, yeah, I mean, the DNC will be here, but it's like, when they're gone, we still gonna have, like, some of the same issues. So it's like, why not address it before they get here, you know? Like maybe it'll be people protesting, you know, at the DNC about, you know, how, you know, they don't really care about us for real, you know, because it's like, oh, you want us to, you know, give you our vote, but, you know, what are you giving in return? You know, you promising the same thing that we've been dealing with, you know, that's really the reality of it, you know. Uh, yeah, I look at it from both sides, but it's more so like you all aren't necessarily looking out for the best interest of my side, you know? So, yeah. I mean, your vote matters, but it's like, do you feel that the Democrats are looking out for your best interests, you know? Do you feel the Republicans would look out for your best interests, you know? Or is it like neither one of them are like really doing anything? And it's like you kind of just stuck in a position where you kind of have to pick and choose. And, you know, this is what people were talking about, you know, like 4 years ago. So that's all I'm saying. Like, for real, like it doesn't make sense. And when I talk about it, that's why I said Marley for president. You know, it's a little side joke, but yeah, you'll keep 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 watching and you'll know what I mean. Marley for president. Yeah. But we definitely got to detox Chicago together. And as I said, all these politicians and, you know, state officials, elected officials, um, I mean, people really do have a voice. And usually the person that you all aren't engaging with is the person that is going to have the most insight, you know, for real. So I think you all need to kind of work on your outreach strategy and the DNC. Like, yeah, I don't really feel you all are supporting, you know, these communities, you know, and I mean that on a as a whole, you know, like I said, not saying that all of the actual Democrats and even certain politicians, you know, like not to say that they all just are bad, but I'm just saying the reality of it is the majority of them, you know, are kind of like up to no good. So that's all I'm saying. And you got to call them out, like for real, real talk. So let's detox Chicago together, y'all. Straight up.